Hello everyone. Every day a large number of different products are manufactured in the world, from clothes and cars to dishes, trinkets, and telephones. The number of people on Earth is staggering, but despite this, we do not consume enough products, leading to a problem of overproduction when the amount of goods greatly exceeds the demand among potential buyers. In today's video, we will discuss this issue. We'll try to understand why new products are destroyed in the world and whether this is okay. Let's go ahead. When we talk about the destruction of manufactured products, we're not just talking about devices or clothing. Yes, friends, we're talking about food products. In developed countries, too much food is produced, much more than society is able to consume. And that's why products that are not sold in time, i.e. spoiled food, inevitably end up in the landfill. There, they eventually deteriorate and only serve as food for wild animals and birds. Of course, there are ways to combat overproduction, such as special programs and advertising, but so far they're not very effective. And while scientists, together with sociologists, are trying to develop clever plans and strategies to save mankind from the oversupply on the one hand and their lack on the other, sometimes quite unusual, and even in their own way funny, situations occur. For example, this video recorded in eastern Georgia quickly spread among the users of this country in the social network Facebook. And from there, it reached the rest of the internet and quickly became viral. Some even called the video the chicken apocalypse. But in reality, it's the result of overproduction. In the Georgian town of Marnuli, a local poultry farm dumped hundreds of spoiled, or more accurately, unsuitable chicken eggs for production. Now, the story could have ended there, and the dumped eggs would have piled up with the rest of the food waste had it not been for the warm weather and landfill conditions. It's hard to imagine, but they turned out to be favorable for the chickens because the eggs were dumped right on the rocks. Usually, for an egg to hatch into a chicken, a temperature of 30 to 40 degrees Celsius is needed. And this is exactly what happened during summer. As a result, after a while, hundreds of chicks were born. And as usual, the animals ran away when they were born. The little birds turned out to be so motivated, and there were so many of them that some even made it to the city. There, the chicks were welcomed by the locals who were not expecting this surprise. After the video of the chicks gained popularity, the local media contacted the then mayor of Narnuli, Timur Abbasov. According to the mayor, it was a very unusual case, and all the responsibility lay with the poultry farm. According to Abbasov, the dump had conditions that were very similar to eggs when raised by hens, so they didn't spoil at all, resulting in a chick apocalypse. Although it's hard to imagine such a thing, as chickens and garbage men have nothing in common, this video filmed by a local resident speaks for itself. It's not known whether the poultry farm workers captured the chicks or let them escape, but one thing's for sure. It's a very strange and frankly unsuccessful way to deal with overproduction. Food that ends up in landfills because it's spoiled or unsold is a familiar problem. But what about clothing? Not just any rag, but elite clothing. For example, British band Burberry destroyed $37.8 million worth of its branded products last year. The total value of the goods it destroyed in the last 5 years exceeds $110 million. Imagine these amounts. Company representatives said that this measure is necessary to protect intellectual property and prevent counterfeiting. In other words, Burberry destroys its own elite products so that no one can counterfeit them or sell them for cheap. In recent years, Burberry has worked hard to bring the brand back to exclusivity after going through a phase of constant counterfeiting. In the early 2000s, the market was full of fake products with original Burberry labels, which, according to the company, had a negative impact on its image. Because of this, Burberry removed the labels from 90% of its products in 2006. And according to the brand, the destruction of unwanted products is part of this process. For the most part, it was the perfumes that were destroyed. How? By literally burning them. It's said that the energy produced by burning all these elite products was reused. So the destruction process due to overproduction can even be considered environmentally friendly. However, Greenpeace criticized the company, saying that Burberry does not respect its own products, the hard work and natural resources used to create them. But not only Burberry uses these practices. Brands don't benefit from their products being sold in outlets, participating in discounts, or being given away for free. After all, the product loses its status, and the company simply loses its buyers. Who wants to give $500 for a dress if a couple of months later you can buy it for $20? Therefore, the clothes either deteriorate or are destroyed. For example, in 2017, near one of the Eddie Bauer stores in Union Square, a bag of discarded items was found. For the brand, the situation was exacerbated by the fact that a large number of homeless people in New York City needed warm clothes in December, but no one even thought to donate things to charity. At the same time, the Michael Kors company preferred to destroy its backlog of watches and declare them as lost watches. Many manufacturers want their products to be sold or else become unsuitable for everyone. According to them, people should not be able to find things in trash cans and wear them. Other watchmakers do the same. After all, this accessory often speaks volumes about the wealth and status of its owner. Swiss luxury watch manufacturer Richemont owns two brands, Cartier and Montblanc. The cost of watches starts at $1,000 and reaches $26,000. Impressive. In 2016, the former CEO of the company, Richard Lepeu, proposed to get rid of the goods that no one had bought in order to avoid possible discounts. Over the past 2 years, the company has bought hundreds of watches that were not sold in stores across Europe. Because of this, Richemond's stock value fell by 5%. But this didn't stop anyone, and in 2018, Richemond destroyed its unsold watches for a total value of $590 million. Was it worth it? However, it's not only luxury brands that have to defend their brand this way. For example, in 2010, the New York Times accused H&M and Walmart, the world's largest supermarket chain, of intentionally carving up unclaimed goods. Every day from the two companies' stores in Midtown Manhattan, a mountain of new, unsold clothing was dumped. Things were packed in clean garbage bags. But before throwing them away, they were damaged with the help of pliers, blades, and even special punching machines. In general, companies do everything possible so that no one could use them. However, stores produce too many clothes, and employees simply do not manage to get rid of all the products. Knowing this, poorer people in New York come to the staff entrances of the stores at night to save things that can still be worn, while H&M's official position is to ensure environmentally friendly production. The head office in Sweden even announced that they'd reduce the size of labels to save paper. So something doesn't add up. And this way of combating overproduction is very common. In 2017, Nike, the athletic apparel and footwear manufacturer, was found to be responsible for the destruction of goods. Huge bags of brand new sneakers were found next to one of its stores in New York. Cool! Now you can get Nike sneakers for free! Unfortunately, not, because Nike forces you to cut each sneaker from toe to heel with a box-opening knife. Bags of damaged clothing were also found, similar to the H&M story and the intentional damage. Of course, concerned people asked company representatives for explanations, but received a rather vague answer that said, quote, "A small amount of products in our Soho store were not up to standard and we could not sell, recycle, or donate them, so they were thrown away." Do you think this is true? Sadly, the representative could not explain why and for what purpose all the goods were cut up. Now you're probably wondering what the situation's like with technology products. Well, they probably handle overproduction the right way. Well, sadly, no. If you've heard of parking lots with new cars that no one needs, then you probably understand that in this case, things are no better. In June of 2018, the German division of Amazon, the largest online retailer in the United States, was caught destroying a large number of new and returned products, such as refrigerators, dishwashers, washing machines, cell phones, tablets, mattresses, and furniture. In other words, they were destroying everything. One of the company's employees anonymously revealed that the company was destroying tens of thousands of dollars worth of goods every day. Amazon did not deny these allegations of mass destruction, but company representatives emphasized that they tried to do this practice as little as possible and destroy as few products as possible. The company added, quote, "When products cannot be sold, resold, or donated, we turn to wholesalers who can use these products." Apparently only then are the products sent for destruction. But at the same time, the former employee claimed it was a daily practice. Of course there was an uproar, and the German environmental minister said that this approach was unacceptable, while Greenpeace called for the introduction of a law banning the destruction of goods that can still be used. Many companies are forced to produce more goods than they can sell because of shareholders who want the business to grow steadily. However, so far, the ways of dealing with excess clothing, shoes, equipment, and even food have left much to be desired. But maybe things will change in the future. At least we hope so. How about you? Hey, stop being lazy. It's time to activate your brain. Welcome to the Brain Time channel. Amazing facts from the past, present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts, and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe. You won't regret it.